Now, this question's been quite nice in a sense that they have already broken down the trends here, A, B, and C, right? Not all questions will be this nice. More often than not, they actually won't show you these letters. They'll just give you the shape and be like, oh, figure it out yourself, right? But what you can do in that case is you look at the mark distribution. So we can see that it's worth 5 marks here. That's quite a lot of marks, right? So if you see this graph and you just talk about one trend for a 5 marker, you should be thinking, oh, like this is not right. I should be writing more. But in this case, they've given us our 3 trends to analyze. So let's just do that now. So a 3,000 hectare koala sanctuary was created in 1980. And the koala population over the next 35 years was monitored and the data graphed below. Identify and explain the ecological significance of the graphs labeled A, B, and C. Okay, now they've also been extra nice in scaffolding our question for us. So they say identify and they say explain, right? So that means we say what the trend is and say why it is for every single one, right? So I'm going to mark that on my sheet as well. So I and E. Okay, now we've introduced some koalas into the population. Can someone tell me what's happening in this? Oh. Yeah, it's increasing. Okay. Yep, it's just going up, right? So increasing. Can someone tell me why it's increasing? Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, it's a sanctuary, right? So there's no competition. That could be one. Also, it's a really large sanctuary. So when it's increasing so rapidly, it's probably telling me that they're not yet having to have some intra-species like competition for resources, right? So food and whatnot is probably still very abundant. Okay. So I'm going to say no predators, abundance of food. All right, no competition. Cool. Now, our second trend, this little part here, what's happening in this trend here? It's slowing down, right? Yep. Okay. Now, what's happening here? Why is it slowing down? Yeah, and why would there be more competition?
Because there's more koalas in the area, so less food source for each other.
Yep, right, yeah. There's more intra-species competition because there's more koalas. There's starting to be not enough food to go around, so the rate of growth is not as high. So I'm just going to mention that, right? So competition for food and habitat. Okay. Now, what's happening in my last trend here? It plateaus, right? I'm just going to write plateaus. And why would it plateau? What does that mean? Yeah, right. It's reached its maximum capacity and it's now stable, right? Let's write that down. Yes. Actually, to be fair, I've also included the number, just so I'm clearly referencing the graph. So I've written 13,000 there. But again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, right? Make sure you're talking about the trend and then you're explaining the trend with your understanding of the content. Cool? All right.